Hello, hello. What is up, my fabulous creatives and internet friends? Happy Friday. I am coming at you today completely unscripted and completely inspired. I actually wasn't planning on filming a podcast today because I had the most exciting opportunity of a lifetime this morning, and I got to record a podcast with a super, super cool designer. And I'm not gonna say anything just yet until the episode is released, but stay tuned, guys. I have something really, really cool in the works. And because I was filming that podcast episode with them this morning, and Friday is usually my filming day, I was like, I'm not gonna film a podcast today. I'm honestly buried right now. I am so beyond stressed. I cannot even put it into words, and I just feel completely overwhelmed. I have an overdue initial vehicle wrap design for my one client. I have these shirts that have to absolutely be done next week. And it is a very, very dense illustration process I have to go through. I'm in the process of doing brand strategy for a client, and I'm also working on two passion project rebrands in the background. And I'm just very overwhelmed. It's been really hard lately. And then on top of all of that, I'm in the process of this rushed, forced dribble evacuation. And it's just been a lot on my plate. Our cat was recently diagnosed with diabetes. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last episode or not, but with that comes an entirely new meal plan and eating schedule and feeding schedule. And it's just been a lot. I've been very overwhelmed, and my creativity just feels like it's dwindling. And I've been telling myself that I don't want to push myself that hard, and I'm not going to worry about social right now, and I'm not going to worry about my podcast right now because I have to prioritize myself. But, filming this podcast today, on top of everything, kind of felt like taking care of myself. And I'm going to share with you guys a quick little story as to why. So, today, I got done filming the podcast episode, and I was so invigorated and happy and on cloud nine. I felt like I could conquer the world. I felt like I could rip through 2 weeks of overdue tasks in just the remainder of today alone. I felt awesome. And then I made the mistake of hopping on my personal Facebook, and I saw somebody posted something so stupid in our community, community chat or whatever, how Facebooks have Facebook pages for your community, and people are always so mean and rude and aggressive in them. And honestly, it is just such a toxic thing. So, made the mistake of hopping on that Facebook page and seeing this nasty post by somebody. Basically, it was just somebody commenting about how there was somebody on a dirt bike, and they were squeaking their tires and honking their horn at 10 o'clock at night, and how much of a massive inconvenience it caused to their day, and called them out for being an a-hole on the community page, like that's gonna solve anything. And it got me all fired up. It got me really shook up. I hopped in the comment section and I read through some of the stuff, and I decided to make a comment on my own, just saying let people live. Honestly, I can't wrap my head around how people have been so mean and so disrespectful and just so straight up rude to each other lately. Oh my God, look at them having fun, disgusting. Or look at them prioritizing their health. Who do they think they are? People have just gotten so mean in the last couple of years. And here I am, trying to heal my inner child in the midst of all of these mean adults. And even previous employers hopping online and just aggressively tearing down any potential competition it's normal. And I wasn't raised that way. It's always such a shock for me to see how people are acting online. So I made the mistake of hopping into the comments section and basically was why don't you just let people live? This is such a silly thing to get angry over. And he might be having fun. It might be his last day to live. Why are we so mean to people? And it really didn't cause you much of an inconvenience. Did they damage your personal property? No. Were they doing it for 30 minutes to an hour? Also, probably no. It really isn't that big a deal. But people online continue to make these tiny things such a huge deal. It's my God, I wouldn't want to be in the room when somebody calls and said they totaled a car. Good golly, crazy stuff. So Now my brain's just spinning and I'm getting myself stressed out. And then they write back a comment like, well, I'm so sorry that apparently it seems that you have nowhere to be or nothing to do and don't have a job and probably don't go to school. And all you look to do online is like comment on these threads or whatever, some low blow. And I was just like, bro, I don't know if you're aware, okay, but like I am running my own business right now successfully. I haven't gone under yet. That's amazing. I thank God for that every single day. I have to worry about posting to social media, and I have to worry about podcasts, and I have to worry about reaching out to potential clients, and I have to worry about marketing myself online, and I have to worry about literally fist fighting digitally with Google to get them to approve me for Google Business so that I have a place to send clients to leave me reviews so that I can get more leads, and all of this stuff just on and on and on and on and on, and taking invoices and answering emails and caring for my family. And I don't have kids yet, but I have 2 cats. They're my family, and my hubby, who's not my hubby yet, but he's my fiance, but I always call him my hubby anyway. And I have all of these things that I have to worry about on a daily basis. And while this is probably so insignificant compared to what some other people have to worry about on a daily basis, like this is tough for me. And I acknowledge the fact that there are people out there that have it worse, and I'm thankful that I don't have it worse. So while my struggles are hard for me, I still acknowledge like there's people out there that have it way, way worse than me. And I'm just thankful for the life that I've been given. And even though sometimes things get heavy, I just try to hold on to the fact that, you know, it is okay for it to feel heavy. It's not like I'm discrediting myself. It's not like I'm like, oh, well, other people have it worse, so I'm just going to discredit the fact I'm feeling these feelings. Like, no, it's okay to still feel these feelings, and it's okay for it to seem heavy, even when it's not. But like, there's a line to be drawn between, you know, being cognizant of your own struggle and understanding other people have it worse, and, you know, you're lucky that you don't have it worse, but also your feelings still matter. I feel like people took that feelings still matter part like to the absolute extreme. Like, honestly, dude, nobody cares that you're upset that there's a dirt bike driving past your house right now. Like, do you understand how silly that seems? So all of these thoughts, literally everything I just spewed at you, start bouncing off of the walls of my cranium, like so fast. And I was like, okay, Jen, you can't let this bother you. This is ridiculous that you're letting this bother you. So I went to sit at the window. And that's when I got inspired to make a podcast today anyway. I did my little window sit, and I actually told the person that I was filming the podcast with about this exact thing. I do these little window sit things. I recently implemented it into my business, and I know it sounds so silly and so stupid, but I've been doing so much to try to help carry the mental burden of running a business and like having a life, because it's really tough to try to find that balance. And I mean, I'm only in my early years, so I can imagine how much heavier it gets the further along you go. But for right now, I've been trying to do little things I can be okay fitting into my schedule, because I would never like tell myself, okay, just go for a 30-minute walk, because then internal Jen is like, 30 minutes is way too much time to waste during the workday, and your business is going to fail, and it's going to be all your fault. So I started to try to incorporate these things that I can still do to help combat all of the mental struggle I'm going through. And one of those things is I go over to the window on the one side of the house that the wind blows into, and I sit down at the window, and I just let myself breathe, think, let go of everything, let go of the BS, Facebook posts, let go of social media's influence on our lives, let go of bills and taxes and stress and jobs and client acquisition and social media and podcasts and cats and everything. Just let it all go and just exist in the moment. Observe. And I was sitting at the window just a few minutes ago, letting all of this wash over me so it doesn't affect the rest of my day. And there were 2 beautiful blue jays in the tree right outside the window that's starting to bloom for spring. And the green is just the most vibrant, beautiful green I've ever seen in my life. And these blue jays are just chilling in the branches, the most beautiful blue I've ever seen in my life. And in those moments, feeling those emotions is what I can understand it's truly like to feel alive. And I'm trying to really pull that into my business in ways that I can, because that's what I'm after. I was so burnt out from the vicious cycle of industry where it's like they want to strip the heart and soul out of design so they can get things turned around faster so that they can make more money and then on to the next job. And, they put you in these dark rooms and closed doors and no windows, but like, we're humans. And just as much as plants need sun and air and water, so do we. Like, you need to get outside. You need to smell that fresh air. You need to remember the depth of these lives that we're gifted to live, and that it's so much greater than just getting pissed off at a dirt biker revving their dirt bike because how dare they affect your day in that way. Like, it's just honestly brought a lot into perspective. But anyway, with my Blue Jay story, the one Blue Jay was chilling on the one branch, and then another Blue Jay flew up with what looked like a French fry in its beak. And I was just like, or a piece of bread or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, look at this guy living the high life. Like, he's got the bougie food today. And the other Blue Jay like saw this. And then the Blue Jay with the piece of food in its beak flew away. And then the other Blue Jay flew after it like, hey, what you got? And as I was observing all of this, it made me think about when me and my fiance are spending time together, actually, like when we get downtime, and how every time when he has food, I'm always like, hey, what you got? Like peeking over, and he always knows to order extra because I always end up stealing his food. And even though he hates when people do that, he lets me, and it is like the most magical thing I could ever ask for. And I saw these Blue Jays doing that thing that me and my fiance do as people, and it just honestly put so much into perspective. And with the whole diabetic cat thing, like having to take care of this diabetic cat and having to observe this cat so closely as far as how much water is he drinking and how's the litter situation and how much of certain foods can I give him, how fast does he eat certain foods compared to others in order to gauge like what he likes and what he doesn't like, and all of these factors. And you start to learn about these little animals, just how much we have in common with them, and even birds, just how much we have in common with them. And in that moment, when I started to make these connections, is when life truly started to become beautiful for me again. Because I was that person that would like get pissed off at the dirt bike revving its engine and be like, ugh, how dare they? Like, it's past 10. Like, who do they think they are? I was totally one of them people. And I fell into the societal traps and I let it affect me. And it started to have an impact on my creativity. And I've been making a huge conscious effort as of recently to get back to my inner child, to remember what it felt like to make animals or shapes out of the clouds and chase butterflies and go fishing, and all of these wonderful memories that I have and how magical they felt in those moments. I'm just trying my best to get back to that, because society kind of wants us numb. You know, they kind of want to fit you into this small little cubicle where you're going to be okay obeying to work for the rest of your life. But I think we're on the verge of something really great in the creative industry and in humanity as a whole, where we are seeking this deeper meaning. You know, we are seeking this why. What's the purpose? You know, all of these wonderful things that really bring back into perspective how beautiful life really can be. Because I feel like lately it's just been so much hate, so much anger, so much arguing, all of this awful stuff, and it makes you feel crappy. Like, nobody likes feeling like that. So I just kind of didn't want to do that. Like being a kid again, bringing out your inner child again. And it took me finding Meg Lewis on the last Designer Boss Summit to really educate me on what that really means. And I am just starting my journey in learning. And so far, it's been going really well. So yeah, I didn't want to make a podcast today. Adult Jen did not want to make a podcast today. I told myself I was going to be burnt out because I already filmed one earlier today. And I don't have the time to dedicate to making a podcast because I have so much other super important stuff that I should be doing. And you have to do that first. And inner child Jen, you know, the one that set out on this creative journey in the first place, carrying nothing but a sketchbook and a pencil, would say, go be creative. Even though you know you don't have the time, you're going to do a lot better with the rest of your day if you just let this creativity have an outlet. And reset, recenter, refocus, and remember why you started this in the first place. So that's my little soul searching episode for today, guys. I have so much more good stuff coming in the future. And thank you to everybody along with me for the ride on this wild, crazy, mixed up, and awesome journey. Can't wait to catch you guys in the next episode. I hope you all have a great weekend. Share with me something crazy and cool that you did this weekend. If it's something like going out and going for a walk, or maybe you saw a butterfly that really inspired you. Maybe you also saw a blue jay with a French fry in its mouth. Please let me know if you do, because that would be super cool. And I will catch you guys in the next one.